Alright, so here we got the array of tools. What's up guys? Are you guys about to start working at Toyota as an entry-level tech or a lube tech? Watch this video to figure out what tools you're gonna need. Let's get started. Yo, what is up guys? Nick Nakai here, Let's Drift Media. Thank you guys all so much for coming back to the channel. I really appreciate it. If this is your first time here, do me a big favor and hit that subscribe button down below. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing the tools that I highly recommend to start off working at Toyota. If you're starting as a lube tech, of course, these are the tools you're going to be needing. So for those of you guys who don't know my background, I have about 6 years working in a Toyota dealership. 4 of those years I was stuck changing oil. I know it was a long time. I messed up my driving record, so it is what it is. But figured I can share my knowledge and maybe help inform you guys if you're about to start at Toyota or you're looking to get a job at Toyota. That way you can kind of have a head start and like kind of have in your head an idea of what kind of tools you're going to need and stuff like that. So since this is a Toyota related video, I figured I should put the Toyota jersey on. A lot of good memories in this shirt. Every dealership's different as far as the jobs they're going to require you to do as a lube tech. The dealership I was at, we did oil changes, tire rotations, mount and balance tires, tire patch, tire repairs, stuff like that. Changed out air filters, cabin filters, replaced batteries. Basically just light, super light maintenance. We never really did like any actual real work on cars, so it's just like quick and easy in and out type of jobs like that. Also, every dealership is different. Some supply you with tools, some don't. Even if they do supply you with tools, they might not be the best tools, so you might want to look into getting your own. And since it's minimal jobs, you really don't need much, so don't be afraid thinking like I'm gonna have to spend like a shit ton of money or something like that. Like, no, you can buy all your tools at Harbor Freight and then figure out exactly what tools you want to invest more in and then maybe get like a nicer version of those. But for the most part, you can just get away with Harbor Freight. First tool I recommend, and only tool, is a 14mm wrench or ratchet. That's really the only tool you're gonna need because that is the size of the Toyota drain plugs. So that's it guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Till next time, peace! I'm just kidding, but there's really not that many tools you need. That's like the #1 tool I would recommend. So I really don't have a plan for this video how I'm gonna do it, so have all the tools laid out behind me right here. Just gonna start from the left and go all the way down to the right and show you guys what I think you guys should have. Alright, so here we got the array of tools. I took a couple home from work. Most of the stuff I just kind of had at home because it's really not that much stuff. But let's just get started on the left. I'm gonna start going down the essentials, and then on the right are more kind of things you don't really need, but I recommend having them just because it'll make your life easier. So first tool, of course, obviously is going to be your 14. That's going to be for your drain plugs. Pretty much all the cars are going to have a 14. If they don't have a 14 socket or drain plug, it's going to be a 7mm Allen key, like some of the new Scions, or technically Mazdas, but Scions. So this 14mm Gearwrench was like my favorite go-to just because you have a lot of leverage. So you don't really need to try that hard to crack it loose. But this one's also kind of dangerous because with the leverage you can strip drain plugs really easily. Really recommend starting with a torque wrench if you're new to the industry, just so you can get the feel, and then once you feel confident, just do it by hand because you'll know exactly how tight should feel. So 14mm gear wrench or a ratchet with a 14mm socket works fine. Other sockets you're going to want 8, 10, 12, 17, and 19. Those are really the only sockets you're going to need at all working at Toyota, so you might as well just get them. Usually you can get them in the set. And 8, 10, 12, air filter boxes use 10mm sockets. Skid plates a lot of times will be a 10 or a 12 depending on what car you're working on. And the reason I say 17 and 19 is because sometimes the skid plates will be a 17 or a 19, so might as well just have it. It's not that many sockets. Other thing, flashlight, highly recommend. This is a must-have. You don't need a streamlight, but streamlights are really reliable. You can see this thing's like beat to shit. I've had this one for like 7 years now. 7 or 8 years. I've had it for a while and it's still holding up. Flashlight obviously, so you can do inspections when you're under the car, checking brakes or something like that. 2 extensions will just come in handy in case the socket doesn't reach clearly. And next thing we're going to go over is pocket tools. What's really cool about the uniforms is they have these little cool pockets right here. So that's where your pocket tools are going to go. Pocket screwdriver you're going to use all the time, unclipping things, bending tabs open, stuff like that. You're going to use it a lot. So pocket screwdriver, tire pressure gauge of course to check tire pressure really quickly, and a tread depth gauge because most cars are coming in, you need to do a multi-point inspection, so you need to measure brakes, tires, and PSI. So also a brake gauge. It's really good if you're new to this, so this will just help you identify the brake measurements so you can get an accurate reading versus just eyeballing it and guesstimating it. Tire crayon is really helpful. You're going to get nail punctures and stuff like that, and it's nice to mark it just to let the customer see where the puncture is, and also for you to see in case the car comes back and you need to repair it. Schrader valve tool, you're going to be doing tires. This is to remove the Schrader valve out of tires to deflate the air before you mount and balance the tire. Okay, going over here. 1/2-inch breaker bar or torque wrench. I really only use this for the oil filters, which brings me to the next tool. These oil filter cup or cartridge sockets. So these oil filter sockets are definitely a must because half of the new Toyotas coming out are using cartridge style or like reusable housing versus the old screw-on where you just throw away the whole filter. So these sockets are special tools that basically fit perfectly for the oil filter. You can get a lot of different brands, but personally I recommend this Blue Point. If you guys want to see the part number, OF Toy 468. This one is cool because it also fits on like the F2s, like the small original style filters that go on like the old Corollas, Camrys, Yaris's, Scions, stuff like that. So this one I would highly recommend. You can also use this one. I forgot what brand it is, but this one's really durable. But the thing about this one is sometimes it slips. So a lot of times you'll get like an oil filter that's on there super tight, and then you go to use this and it's supposed to fit right around the cartridge, but it'll just keep slipping, and then you got to bust out like the hammer and the punch and have someone help you to get that oil filter off. This oil filter socket seriously has never failed me. There's like never been a time where this thing slips, like it bites on the point. So that is why I recommend this oil filter socket. You can also use the claws for the old style filters. There's a lot of different types of those. I do have a pair, but I cannot find them, so really sorry about that, guys. So next tool, a flathead screwdriver and a Phillips screwdriver. They're just going to be coming in handy, miscellaneous. Sometimes you'll get air filter boxes that don't have the 10mm socket or bolt holding it together, and they just ran like a screw and a nut, so that's why I say a screwdriver. Flathead screwdriver is good to popping out under panel clips because a lot of times you're going to need to pop those clips out. So that's really helpful. A pair of dikes or diagonal cutters and pliers, needle nose pliers. Sometimes you're going to have like engine underbody covers coming in, like falling apart, and the service advisor might want you to just zip tie it because the customer doesn't want to spend the money to replace the actual under panel. So that's why I recommend those basic tools right there. Vice grips, really nice. The hood props, sometimes the hydraulic ones don't stay up, so you don't want that hood falling on your head. I've had that happen and it sucks, or you could even smash your finger. So vice grips are really nice. Just grab onto the hydraulic shock and secure the hood up for you. Go right here, spray bottle. This is pretty handy. If you're looking for a nail puncture or something like that, sometimes the nail is not gonna be in the tire. So the spray bottle is really nice to just spray it and figure out where the leak's coming from. 1/2-inch impact gun, definitely a must. You're going to be doing a lot of tire rotations, so you want to really get a decent impact gun that's not going to break down on you. I've had this Snap-on one for about 5 years now, I want to say, and it's still holding up strong. It's loud as fuck, and it's super strong. So sockets to go with the gun, 21mm of course, because that is going to be a majority of Toyota's lug nuts. 19mm, occasionally you're going to run into that, and also a 22mm socket for like the Tundras and Sequoias and the big truck vehicles. You're going to need that impact socket. So those alone right there are basically what you're going to need like 90% of the time. If you had just that, you'll be fine, and someone else would have the tool you can borrow. But we're going to go over here, and these are more tools that you don't really need, but I just recommend it just because it's nice to have your own stuff and be efficient in the job. Like this 3/8 cordless impact. This one's really nice for taking off skid plates and removing the air filter bolts to change air filters. So highly recommend this. Drill. Doesn't have to be air drill, it could be air or electric. I've just had this one for a long time, and a drill bit. If your Toyota dealership is patching tires, you're going to need a drill to drill through the tire and do the repair. Tire inflation gauge is pretty helpful. I like this digital one because it looks pretty cool and it's got a light, and you know exactly how much PSI you're getting. They have the old school dial PSI inflators. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. Those are cool, but you don't know exactly what PSI it's at. And sometimes you get customers that are really picky, and then since some of the newer vehicles will actually display the tire pressure gauge or the tire pressure reading on the information screen, they can be really picky, and sometimes they might be like, I want my tires at 35 PSI exactly. So if you have one of those old school gauges, good luck trying to get that exact PSI. That's why I recommend the digital ones. They're a little bit expensive, like I want to say at least $100 minimum, but check on eBay, maybe you can find them cheaper. Going over here, we got a jumper box, portable jumper box. This one's really nice because it's super lightweight, and you could even like take this in your car and just keep it up as backup. It's also got USB charging ports on there, so you could charge your phone, but you shouldn't be on your phone at work. So the jumper box is really nice because a lot of times you're going to get a dead vehicle that won't start and it's in the service drive, so you can either look for the shop jumper box and hopefully find it, or ask somebody else, but I recommend just these little portable ones. You just grab it real quick, go up to the service drive, jump start the car, and bring it into your stall. Test light. Recommend the test light because sometimes you're going to have to be checking for power on fuses, like mainly the cigarette lighter plug fuse, to see if it's getting power. I mean, you could of course just pop it out, but it's pretty cool to just run up there and check it real quick. You shouldn't really have to do much stuff like that, but you never know. Every dealer's different. I had to check fuses a lot when I was on the lube rack, so that's why I put that tool in there. And last tool is the Obd-Ii Scanner. I know a lot of people are probably thinking like, why do you need an Obd-Ii scanner if you're just changing oil? Because when you're changing oil, sometimes you're changing air filters or even fixing other people's mistakes. If you're working with the team or something and they could have disconnected an air line from the air box, and it's going to cause a check engine light. So it's really nice to have that because in case it pops up, it's like you can just clear it really quickly versus getting out the tech stream and doing a health check and clearing the fault memory like that. So that's why I recommend just a little Obd-Ii scanner. And lastly, you want to have an M caliper. So yeah guys, those are the tools I recommend. Hopefully I did a good job explaining about when you're gonna use the tools and stuff like that, but it's really something you just need to figure out on your own. So I mean, once they throw you in there, obviously the first day you don't need to bring like all your tools and stuff, so you're gonna have someone's tools you can use, but I'm pretty sure their toolbox is gonna look a lot similar, like what the setup I have right here. Maybe a couple more things. I didn't want to put too many things on there because I just wanted to kind of show you guys the essentials that I recommend. And the cool thing about this is all of this stuff fits in a tool bag. So it's not like you need like a big hunkin' toolbox to get started in this. So that's my advice to you guys. Hope this video was helpful, since I had a lot of people asking me what kind of tools I think they should buy starting off at Toyota. But don't forget, these are just to be a lube tech. But once you're in the job, you're gonna realize really quickly what tools you're gonna need, like for say when you go on the line. So this is just kind of like a little starter kit I put together of the tools that I recommended. Once again, guys, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace!